What is actually yours today? What are the things that are actually the things you really are to do today? I was being very careful there with my words because usually in a sentence like that, we're going to say things like supposed to do, should do, need to do, all of those kind of things. But none of those necessarily are really the determining factor for what is yours today. What are the things that are for you to do in the day that's called today? All too often, myself especially, some of you may go with me on this one. I find myself living in the should world, you know, shooting all over myself because there's things that I should do, I'm supposed to do, that are things that really honestly somebody else gave to me and convinced me were mine to have to do. When in truth, they may have never been mine, actually. And even if they were mine, it doesn't necessarily mean they're mine for today. I'll give you a perfect example. Um, there are a lot of really cool things we're working on in the business. Some of them that I hope will be greatly helpful to you in the organization and the automation and all of those kind of things for you and your company as well. But over top of all of those is also this whole long list. I've got my calendar that says, "Hey, Deborah, glad to have you here." The calendar says, "Well, you need to do this. You've got this appointment. You've got that thing." And then I've got my to-do list, my task list that says, "Here's this person you need to deal with. Here's this thing. Here's this project. You need to touch on this thing." And again, those may all be, especially on a Monday, may all be things that we need to do today. That just by purely simply walking through the day, we need to do. But two thoughts are occurring to me simultaneously. One is just because they're on our list, our to-do list, or on our schedule, doesn't make them the thing that should define our day. I think that's the most important part of it. Is yes, you may have a 1:30 appointment that you're going to keep, and be, in integrity with appointments you scheduled and those kind of things. It doesn't mean that's really what's going to define your. Often we take that appointment that's at 3 or 4 o'clock, and we then schedule our whole day around that particular thing. My one billionaire friend, Errol was such an amazing guy. I remember I had the conversation with him. I was like, "Errol, sometimes in the middle of the afternoon, really what I want to do is just take a nap." He's like, "Well, then take a nap." I'm like, "But you're supposed to work from 9 to 5." He's like, "Who said?" I'm like, "Well, everybody." He's like, "You own the business." And then he turned about me. He said, "How many nights do you work until midnight, 1, 2 o'clock in the morning?" And I said, "Pretty much all of them." He goes, "Okay." He goes, "So we're not worried about you getting enough work in, or that you're not going to cover your 40 hours a week. But what I do need to teach you how to do is to listen to yourself. Follow that real leading that tells you this is the thing you need right now. And maybe that does mean you sneak in a quick nap at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Or maybe it does mean you get this really creative idea and you need to, at the very least, this is one of the things I love about AI, you need to capture it while that information is still fresh in your head. Because it's really easy to have something come to you and then it disappears before you get to a piece of paper, or you put it off because of the things you're supposed to do. and you lose that insight. So, my question again for you today is, what is actually yours today? Not what's your to do list, not what is your have to list, not even what do your appointments say, but what is yours today? What are the things that are going to absolutely allow you to move forward and be the best you that you can be in the day that's called today? Doesn't mean any of the appointments need to change. Doesn't mean the to-do list won't be real and be things that you'll check off throughout the course of the day. But it does absolutely mean that you need to make sure that you're following the you that is you in the world. And not just be the person who's doing what they should do or are supposed to. I hope that you'll think about that. And that if you feel up to it, make a comment and tell me, what is the genuine thing that is yours to do today? How are you going to show up? Not how should you, not how you're supposed to, but just simply, how do you choose to show up today? Do that, and then make sure that the things you need to do get taken care of, but that you honor yourself enough first. Thank you so much for spending some time with me here today. I hope you're happy, safe, warm, and loved. Until we're together again next time. You have a great week.